I'm stuck at traffic lights again. Bentham's Way, don't you know? And my mind started wandering, as often it does, to times gone past. Like the fella who spent about 35 years, this tall fella, outside Goodison Park for every single game, holding a sign saying the end is nigh. And I know it doesn't literally mean the earth's going to end in the next couple of weeks. It just means if you don't behave yourselves, if you don't live your life according to the scriptures or whatever it is, that humanity will end. But I always love that. The irony, the end is nigh, 35 years. From about 1985 onwards. That was a great time now. A great time to be, well, a teen, an adolescent. Everton were doing fantastic. Music was sound. It was glorious. So I look back on it with fondness. And I was really, really glad that my uncle Paul used to take me. A very, very big part of my growing up, all that. Listening to the Smiths, watching Everton, not wearing replica kit or a scarf or any of that rubbish. But we played Exeter in an FA Cup game in 85 or 86 or something. And seeing all them lot with cut out FA Cups covered in foil, big rosettes, Exeter for the cup and all that stuff. Wandering down Goodison Road, which was covered in horse shit. So, I wish we brought the bucket with us. That'd be great on the garden. Thinking, you absolute yokels. Now looking back years later, they were the ones with the right idea. While we were all obsessing over our latest trainees, counting the amount of Adidas trainees that you've got, they were in the garden or the allotment, in the fresh air, communing with nature. Who had the right idea? Them or us? Who am I kidding? It was us. You can't beat a good set of trainees, lads. But it's amazing your perspective at that particular time in life. That's all you're obsessed with. Football and casual. It wasn't even casual back then, was it? You weren't a scarfer. No colours. The best clothes you could afford. Little tiny pin badge, that was it. That's all you'd wear. But it annoys me now. I lived through it. I knew what it was like. Seeing the casual culture which has been taken over by this new generation of people that weren't there at the time, who don't realise what was involved. You can watch Green Street as much as you like. It doesn't tell you exactly what it was like back then. Thankfully, I was too young to be involved. Too young to be targeted. But I've seen what's happened against West Ham. Cass Pennant was there one year. People with little Jif lemon bottles of ammonia and things, and 2 Stanley blades stuck together so that when you got slashed, it left a deeper scar. It was more difficult to sew together. All that stuff. Now you've got half with Stone Island, get the badge in, bollocks. You wouldn't be celebrating it if you were there, mate. And I wasn't even involved in it. Just sort of evolved. It happened around me. My uncle used to just grab me and get me out the way of it. Trying to walk back to wherever we'd parked the car during pitched battles with Man United. The entire road taken up with people just webbing 12 shades of shite out of each other. That's not to be feted, it's not to be enjoyed, not to be celebrated. It's not big and it's not clever. And it's even worse nowadays that you've got people of either my age or slightly older who are constantly on podcasts going on about how great it was and how, like, you know, there was fucking 300 of them, there was 4 of us, and, you know, there was fucking game day was, but we give them a pasting we did. Yeah, of course you did, mate. 4 against 300. Bollocks. It's always that, isn't it? There was a handful of us and 6 million of them, and of course we beat them. But they were game. They're always game, aren't they? Bollocks. Grow up. The granddads now, you know what I mean? Don't revel in that culture. It was nice when all that disappeared and when the rave scene happened and everyone was going out on Friday nights on the Eckies, which meant by Saturday they were still loved up. So there's no arguing, no fighting. Everyone was just enjoying going to footy. Coincided with Everton being absolutely shite, like, which wasn't great, but it was much better. Families could go and enjoy it. Then the Premier League started, 92, 93, and the whole thing changed. And we should look at that as a good thing. I know it isn't because it's all money, but it's better than it used to be. Women can go nowadays. And I know I follow quite a few women used to follow on Twitter, but who say that they're still suffering from male-itis when it comes to football. Still being spoken to in ways they shouldn't be spoken to and still made to feel uncomfortable, which is stupid. Football's for everyone. But at least they can go now. And it's down to us to make sure that they're treated properly. Human beings, don't treat them like shit. And there's plenty of women I know, you know, more about football than the rest of the lads put together. So don't start that shite either. But it's a different landscape. I hate the fact that people are trying to drag it back to what it used to be. It's not good. It used to be labelled the English disease, didn't it? Football violence. And it isn't. We're the ones who got banned. And yet, far worse is happening over Europe on a weekly basis. And nothing happens to them. Grow up. Grow up. It's not war. It's not country versus country. It's a game of football. And that phrase, that often used phrase of nobody should ever go to a football match and never come home. It's true. But unfortunately it happens all over the continent on a regular basis. All over football. We need to evolve. We need to evolve anyway as a species. We seem to be going backwards. Anti-vaxxers, anti-science, all them lot. The ones who say do your own research. Why? No, I haven't gone to university. I haven't spent 20 years doing medical research to get to the top of my profession. I'll leave that in the hands of people who know what they're doing. For the same reason that I don't do my own brain surgery. You leave that to someone else because they know a bit more than you do. And it's not because I couldn't reach, because look, I could actually reach. Yeah, I hate all that. We are devolving. Or de-evolving, whichever one it is. Maybe the fellow was right with the sign. The end is nigh. Could you be wasn't from Northern Ireland? Because if the end is nigh, it is right nigh. Know what I mean? Anyway, you know the drill. Cup of tea time. And nap as well. I need me nap. Shattered. Didn't sleep well last night. Sounded like we were getting tanned by burglars. We weren't. Just my nephew being an absolute dick upstairs on his game. No need. Oh, right. Time to go home. By the way, I have discovered what the beep beep beeping is. I shall show you now. This bit of trim that's missing, that fell off, that I can't find now, is supposed to... See that little button? It's supposed to press that little button. When the door is shut, it presses that button. And that lets the car know that the doors are shut. And when it isn't shut, when it isn't pushed in, beep, 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 beep. So I've had to order a new one from Europe at somewhere. Don't know where in Europe. 30 quid or 20 quid with about a tenner's worth of postage. Not asked, as long as it gets done, because that's horrific listening to that all the time. Every time you stop and start up again, beep, beep, pissing beep. But that's what it is. Birds. Everywhere, birds.